Hello again. Today I'm painting this Houndoom card from the Lost Thunder set. This set was mostly composed of Pokémon from Generation 7, but also had a few oddballs like this Houndoom and Houndour. This card was originally illustrated by Sakio. Sakio is a relatively new card illustrator, and at this time they've illustrated about 36 cards so far in the TCG. The first card featuring their illustrations came out with Guardians Rising in 2017 and featured a Murkrow. Something that I thought was pretty interesting about this card is that it chooses to represent Houndoom as just a fire type. Now, in the video games, Houndoom is both a fire and a dark type. However, in the TCG, it seems that more often than not, he's represented with the dark type symbol. There are actually 16 dark type Houndoom cards and 11 fire type Houndoom cards. And then there are 3 that have chosen to do a dual type symbol where he is both represented by fire and dark. These 3 cards are in the Team Magma vs Team Aqua set and the Team Rocket Return set. So you may have noticed when I was prepping this card that I actually painted over a lot of the foliage that was in the foreground of the card. I had a different plan that I wanted to run with this card, which included a lot of lava, so the plants had to go, unfortunately. I will keep the ones in the back, however. Magma and lava are not things that I usually get to paint and add into these cards, but because this was one of the few fire-type Houndoom cards, I really wanted to try to put it in there. Fire-type is actually my favorite type of Pokemon, Cyndaquil of course being my favorite Pokemon, but Houndoom has always had a special place in my heart, honestly. I remember one of the first holographic cards I ever got from the Neo Discovery set, or really any Neo set, was the Holo Houndoom card. And this was like a really watercolory looking artwork on top of this really dark holographic foil. It was just such a cool card and I fell in love with it immediately. The next Houndoom card that would ultimately release was Premier Revelation, and this Houndoom card has probably some of the most popular artwork out there. It's an eerie, misty purple field or rock canyon-like landscape, but then the upper portion of the card behind the Houndoom is holographic. It's really subtle. And then the Houndoom itself is really close to the foreground and has that beautiful Arita artwork, and he's howling up at the moon, and I just think it's such a cool card. I actually painted it not too long ago. I don't have a video of it up, but it's somewhere on my Instagram. But that card was really just such a pleasure to work with. So here I'm going to go into a little bit with how I actually painted this lava. Lava is definitely not something I get to work with very often, so I always look back at references to try to get an idea of what the colors should look like and where the light should be coming from. I am no master at painting lava and fire and stuff, but hopefully this will help you some if you're struggling yourself. So what I actually like to do is completely paint everything I want to be lava or magma white. This makes it a lot easier to layer on those lighter reds and yellows later on down the road. Okay, now here I start blocking in my yellows. Yellow is such a hard color to layer on because it's just so thin, you can see things through it really easily. So I want to make sure I get a bunch of layers of yellow put on here so it's nice and opaque. From what I gathered from my references, the hotter the lava is, the closer to white the color of it will be. So I wanted to make sure the places where I think the lava will be the hottest, places where the heat is immense, that those were mostly yellow and white. So then when I'm coming back in with these oranges, these are going to be where the lava is slightly cooler. It's still lava, so it's still hot, but it's going to be slightly cooler than these bright white and yellow patches. And then of course the coolest color on this lava gradient would be reds and purples. So I'm just coming back in with this bright red and some darker umber colors to lay out places where the lava will be slightly colder. Or cooler, or less warm, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. If you do find yourself struggling with getting really rich yellow colors, just go back over that portion of the card with perfectly white paint and try to get it as white as possible, and then lay your yellow on top of that and see if it helps you any. And as a final touch, I like to come back onto these stones and rocks and just paint places where it looks like the lava will be reflecting light. So here I'm painting orange and reds onto the bottom of these. This just helps really sell the idea that this lava is hot and bright, and that it's actually reflecting these bright oranges and yellows onto surfaces around it. And finally, I wanted to add some steam coming up off of the lava. In a lot of the pictures I looked at, it seemed that this lava always had some kind of smoke or mist surrounding it where it's melting and burning rock. So to do this, I actually just take white or gray paint and I water it down almost to the consistency of watercolor paints. And then I just gently paint on where I want this steam to be rising. If the paint comes off too much and it turns out to be too opaque, you can take a paper towel and actually just wipe it off a little bit, and it should come out almost transparent for you. And with that, this card is finished. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me when you guys come on and comment on my videos, and it really just helps me and encourages me to keep making more. But if you like that and you're interested in any of my social medias, they are all linked down below in the description, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you.